This is pretty much what the chassis is going to look like. If you pick up this model and look at the bottom, obviously it's a little bit of cleanup, but this is what's going to be there. Welcome back to the workbench, where we try to make things. What we're continuing to try to make today is Revell's Ford FD-100 pickup, the Foose design kit they put out a while back. And if you want to get caught up on this build, because we're doing it quite a bit different, there's a link down in the description. You can get completely caught up to where we are right now. And where we are right now is finishing up the chassis. And I know what you're thinking. We were supposed to have the chassis done on Friday. Well, we would have, or maybe we would have, but I had family come in for Easter, kind of last minute. Family I haven't seen in a while. And family comes first, at least here at this workshop it does. And so I didn't get much done, or actually anything done on Friday or over the weekend. But I did get some work done today. And where we're at, let me go ahead and I'm just going to pull the cab off, pull the motor out, and we can take a look at just what we're calling, or at least what I'm calling, the chassis unit, because all of this is one unit now. So let me flip it over. And the first thing I wanted to point out is I got the wheel, the stock wheel. These are the wheels and tires that came with the FD-100 kit, which I like them. You know, I don't know. I mean, I could do a different wheel just to be more custom and just do something outside of the kit, but I actually kind of like these wheels. So I went ahead and you probably can see, I drilled it out. This is the Ford Bronco, just as a reminder. This is the Bronco rear end, the whole kind of rear end and 5-link that, well, it's going to be a 4-link, and I'm going to add the 5th link to it. Or it is a 4-link, and I'm adding a 5th link to it. Anyways, it's out of the Bronco, so I'm trying to make this work with this. And so what I had to do is drill out the wheel. I also had to shave it all the way back. So I kept going a little bit. I took all the backspacing out of the wheel to get it to fit narrow enough. I also had to kind of shave down the peg. Well, you can see what it looks like on this side, and then the difference on that side. And at the end of the day, I've actually got a wheel that will fit right where we need it to go. In fact, I think it'll go too low. Like I have to actually pull it down just a little bit. So we've got a wheel that will fit up in the fender, attached to the rear end. The notch is enough notch, all that kind of stuff, all those things that we were working with to get this thing to sit low enough, or at least, well, I guess we should say the rear end to sit high enough so that the body will sit low enough and sit right on the ground, and it's fitting. Everything seems to be fitting in there. Now, let me know, do we use these wheels? Like I said, I like them, but I could always do a different set of wheels, and then, I could print some wheels, and we can print the back spacing exactly how we want it. I don't have to drill them out. I can make the hole the size we want. I could make it fit perfect without having to do all that work. So I haven't done the other side. We might as well, because I did it to this side. But the point being is, we can use these wheels, or maybe not. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Let me pull those out though for now. And you can see that I'm doing the final, I can actually pull this back clip out. I'm doing the final clip cleanup on the back clip, this rear clip, because I am going to have to glue this in before paint, because I'm going to want to fill in these gaps here. If you can see that, I'm going to want to clean up all those gaps and make the connection between this frame rail and this frame rail like it's all one frame rail. So I'm going to have to, take care of all that before paint. So, because originally I was thinking I could just paint this outside the chassis unit here, or whatever we're calling it, but no, that's not going to be the case. So I need to get this rear clip completely finished. So I'm doing final cleanup, and the only thing I changed since the last time we've seen it is I took our drive shaft hoop, whatever this is, and I moved it down. What I had to do is I cut it out. I added material on either side, gave it some longer wings, I guess you could say, and then just glued it to the what would be the top side of the frame rails, and that moved it down. Moved it up. Just depends on which way we've got this sitting, but moved it a width of this width, a width of the cross member thickness. There we go. So anyway, so that got that. Whoops, let me put it the right way. That moved that. Now, if I put the rear end back in, I can have, hold on just a second, let me get the rear clip back in place. And if I put the rear end in, like so, now I can have this. By the way, I clipped, as you can see, I clipped the drive shaft. So now it looks like it runs right to here. We could call this, make it look like a carrier bearing right here, and then run the drive shaft straight to the engine, or to the transmission, through our tunnel that we're making, which I'm just starting to clean up. You can see it's starting to look a lot better where the tunnel is gone in, where we made it by, just as a reminder, if you're new to the channel, all of this material here is the floorboard from a Bronco that I grafted into the FD-100, leaving some of the chassis, or kind of the bottom half of the chassis, I guess you could say, with the running board supports and all that, and a battery box. And we've got a fuel tank that's going to go in here, because we're going to have a fuel filler over here on the body. Anyways, so I started putting in a drive shaft tunnel, but obviously we don't want that hard angle. So my thought was to put in a carrier bearing here, have that angle come down to the rear end, because that's about how this rear end is going to sit, just like this, about right there. We'll have our other 4 links coming on this side. Oh, I do want to mention I am going to be adding the shocks outboard here. Let me make sure you can see. So they'll go from basically the brackets for our 4-link. I'll use that as also where the bottoms of the shocks mount, and then go up here. They're probably going to mount right up here onto the side of this bar, if that makes sense. So that'll be our shocks there. And none of it's really going to be terribly seen, because we're going to have, this is all going to be covered with bed floor. So we're going to have floor here. It's going to angle down and then go back like this. So, it'll come in up over the notch and like so. And so the only way you're going to see it's from this way. And so they're going to be kind of back up in there. They're going to be hard to see. And then of course our airbags are going to live right here and right here. That's not a big deal. Anyway, so that's kind of the finalization of that back end. And I think I'm just going to they're going to just kind of get glued in. So that'll probably all just happen after paint, I think, is going to be the order of operation. But I did, like I said, get this start the process of getting this cleaned up. I just need to clean up right here. That needs to be filled. And I think that'll look pretty good. I've got to add in the rest of the tunnel. So that's really the only thing left to make or build or fabricate, or whatever word you want to use, because the rest of the tunnel needs to come up. It needs to angle up ways so that the transmission, in fact, let me set this in here. I'll set the motor in so you can kind of see how it fits. It fits right like so. Let me get it in place. And so you can see there's actually a rib right here that's tucks right back up against the tunnel. By the way, this tunnel, I just globbed it with CA glue because I didn't want it to crack. I didn't want this styrene to crack. So that's just thick CA glue. Starbond CA glue, discount down in the description if you'd like to get some, so that it would not crack, and that it works, that works, but obviously that's going to be hidden by the cab. So I'm not worried about the smoothing it out or anything. I'm leaving it just like it is, but now you can see how the transmission is going to sit right in here. So I'm just going to have to get a drive shaft to go from here to what we're calling our carrier bearing right there. And then the last thing I kind of did, we had put in this whole front piece here. And I went ahead and used the Bronco's front skid plate. I guess you would call it that front. Yeah, it's a skid plate for the front. I had to cut it all down so it'll sit nice and smooth in here, kind of fit a little bit flat. I added a little bit to our underbody piece. I don't know what we want to call that. The underbody piece that we've added in. So this is what's kind of interesting. The only thing, if you're new to the channel, the only parts on this that are of the chassis that are stock to the FD-100 kit is this rail, this rail, this rail, this rail. But like this has been modified. All this is completely fabricated. This has all been modified. This is all fabricated. This is all These are the rear A-arms out of a Ferrari Testarossa. That's what these are. So like there's very little FD-100 left besides the running board. Now this has completely been fabricated. Anyways, so it's taken a lot to get here is my point. But then I think this front Bronco piece, once we have that in, and then let me bring the bumper in. By the way, this is a front bumper off the Bronco that has also been modified, and it's going to actually be modified a little bit more yet, but that's going to be sitting right here like that. And I think that looks really nice in there, kind of behind, giving that detail behind the bumper there. I think it looks nice. I don't know. Let me know what you think. By the way, pretty much all of this is going to be body color. Pretty much. I think the A-arms probably will not, like suspension part, this will not be the, this probably pretty much will be all body color. I think the gas tank that's going to go in here is going to be like a satin black, like a plastic black, because that would be a plastic tank. I think this stuff will, and then once I put the spindles in and all that, will probably be black, I'm thinking. But I need, once I build in the inner fender wells on the cab portion, that'll all be body color. These inner fenders are all body color. I think it's just going to be all body color, including the bottom of the bed floor is going to be body color, but the top of the bed floor, I think, is going to be black, going to be gloss black. I think the way I'm going to go. So that will be put in separately. The floor will be. I'll build out the floor and there's a rim that runs around here that it could just set right on, and we can glue to. And I think that's what we're going to do, because the bottom's going to be body color, but not the top. So I need to paint this before we glue it in, because I'm not trying to get in there and tape that up, and do it in 2 different pieces. But anyways, that's pretty much, we're really close on the chassis. What I need to do before I can paint the actual chassis, let me pull it back apart. Before I paint the chassis unit, what we're calling this, I've got to finish building the transmission tunnel here. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. And finish smoothing it out. So cleaning up. There's actually a nick right here I've got to clean up. I'm going to go through and just make all my marks, find all the things that need a little body filler, a little cleanup, do that, and then Frenching the tail light. So I still got to do the passenger side tail light. And I need to add a little bit here. I meant to do this today and I forgot about it. I'm going to add a little bits of pieces here to make these hinges look complete on the Bronco tailgate that's on this. But that's it. And then this will be ready for paint. Just that little bit of cleanup there. Anyways, it'll be ready for paint. So let me know what you think about the chassis, because I think this is pretty much what you're seeing here is complete. This is pretty much what the chassis is going to look like. If you pick up this model and look at the bottom, obviously it's a little bit of cleanup, but this is what's going to be there, sans the fuel tank. Let me know what you think. I think it looks pretty good. I think I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's probably more than it needed to be. That's what we kind of do here. We go too far. That's what we do. But I think it's going to end up looking really nice. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Hey, if this is something you're interested in, you're enjoying this build, hit that subscribe button. Coming up on 10,000 subscribers, we're going to have something planned for that. So hit that subscribe button, especially if you made it this far. Might as well. It's free. Hit the like button. That's free also. Hit all those buttons, the hype button. I think all those buttons are free. If you want to help support the channel, hit that join button. But I don't know. Do all those things everybody tells you to do on YouTube. I've got to finish this chassis by tomorrow. So I will see you then. Bye-bye.